I'm very excited again to have with me tonight LeAnn Pettow. She is new to Lakewood Health System, relatively new to Lakewood Health System, so we're excited to have her with us. She is a women's health nurse practitioner. And we also have with us tonight Kelly Bandis, our good friend, an online comedian who has been a part of this conversation from the very beginning. So we're excited to have you guys with us. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Glad to be here. I will be accepting my honorary MD at the end of our
I think you should.
Yeah. I think you've earned it.
I think so.
Health knowledge that you have acquired or been a part of has been amazing. So LeAnn, I want to start with you. We want to kick off, find out a little bit more about you. Tell us more about who you are, your background, some of your history, and then any special interests when it comes to your practice at Lakewood.
Yes. So I am originally from New York Mills, Minnesota. So it's about 45 minutes from Staples. Okay. And I graduated from Concordia College with my nursing degree in 2019. And then I just graduated in December with my women's health nurse practitioner degree from the University of Cincinnati. So I did all of that online. It was absolutely amazing. I was able to work as a labor and delivery nurse for the last few years, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the women's health aspect of it, and now I get to do a little bit more of that and more in the clinic. And I absolutely love it. Women's health has always really been my passion and my favorite part of healthcare. So,
wow, fantastic. Well, you're the perfect one to talk to tonight then for the conversation. So it's great. So Kelly, this month your video was a conversation with your younger self.
Yes.
You were talking a little bit about maybe how to broach the subject of having that first period with maybe your younger self and kind of how to navigate some of that. So I think I maybe know the answer to this, but did your mom have any conversations with you to kind of prepare you for your first period, or what did that conversation go like, or what did it look like for you?
I'm sure that my mother had a lovely, thoughtful conversation with me that I absolutely do not remember. What I do remember is being in 5th grade health class and being shown a movie where a girl who's carrying a backpack full of tampons drops her backpack and the tampons spill everywhere and she's humiliated. That's what I remember about anticipating my first period. And that's no shade to my mother, who I'm sure did a lovely job. Okay. But I was not prepared, I don't think, emotionally or otherwise.
Okay, fair. Sex ed in school. Sounds like a wonderful, wonderful video.
It was. I think it was produced in 1963.
Well, we're going to do better tonight. I just know. I know we're going to do better tonight. I have every belief in that. So, LeAnn, let's just jump right in. So, first question tonight. So, when it came to, talking about periods with we have 2 girls, my wife and I. We sort of divided and conquered. My wife took the female conversation, whether it was periods or sex, whatever the case might be, and I took the son. And so that seemed like the right approach to sort of stay in our lane. Not that dads can't have that conversation as well too, but what are some things out there that moms can do to start to prepare their daughters for having their first period?
I think education is obviously the biggest thing that moms can do. I know that the conversation is very hard to have. A lot of times, young girls are very embarrassed about this. I know myself, I was petrified to talk about this with my mom. I was like, there's no way, you have no idea what I'm going through. Yeah. Obviously she did. Right. But I think it's very important to, as mothers, to just really talk about, this is what I've experienced. This is what your older sister may have experienced, or this is kind of what to expect. This is what a typical cycle looks like. This is how much you're going to bleed. This is what kind of symptoms you might have, like nausea or cramping, anything like that. And then I think it's also really important to talk through the different types of products and things that you can use, different pad options or tampons, menstrual cups, period underwear, things like that. And really just go to the store and buy a bunch of different options and let them see all of it and have all of it there at home, that they can just kind of look through everything and get a little bit more comfortable with it. Because when you're handed that pad at the nurse's office in school and you're just told, here you go, here's a giant pad, you have no idea what you're doing. So just letting them kind of have that hands-on experience, I think, is really important too.
It makes perfect sense. And so talk a little bit about also every young girl is going to be different, but like at what age should you start to maybe have that conversation? I think it's best to probably do it before they have their period, right? And so like, what is there a typical age, or what's sort of that age range that you would start to have that conversation?
So we've seen that young women are actually starting to have their periods a lot younger over the last several decades. Women as young as, well, girls as young as even 9 can start to have their periods. So, you know, around that 8 to 9, I think, is a really good age to kind of start talking about it a little bit. Most girls will have their period, you know, around like 10 or 11, but some maybe a little bit earlier. So I think anytime between 8, 9, 10 is a really good age to just kind of start chatting about it. And then if they have any questions further along, they can, you know, bring the subject up again. Or if, you know, they're starting to notice they're having some cramping, or, you know, getting kind of nauseous, their stomach isn't feeling so good, that would be another good time to bring it up as well.
Got it. So the other thing, I guess when I think about this topic as well too, I love the idea of it coming from mom, but may not always come from mom, because the comfortable factor may not be there. I'm assuming, Kelly, LeAnn, you talk with your girlfriends a lot about these sorts of things back in that day. It's a huge topic, I have to believe, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I am on my way to a writer's retreat with a girlfriend, and we were just talking about our first periods and menopause coming just around the corner. And it's amazing what a universal experience it is for young girls. And my friend and I are about a decade apart, but our stories couldn't be more similar. Like, you always got your first period like right before you were supposed to go to overnight camp, or right before a pool party. And so it's always like this horror story. And to your point, LeAnn, I think that if we just had more information as kids, this is what it's going to look like, this is what it's going to smell like, feel like, because you are just given essentially a diaper at the nurse and been like, go to soccer practice. And so you just, you don't, if we just had more information, I feel like that universal experience could be a universally positive experience.
Completely agree. And I, like I said too, I think it's important too, if moms are having it, they can have accurate information, because Lord only knows what might be shared otherwise in terms of, you know, that topic overall with young women, just not having that right information.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I remember in middle school, we all lined up to see who was going to get their period based on height. And I know that that was not based in science, but that's what we were doing, left to our own devices.